Hey guys, it's your girl Sugar Sade back again with another video. Welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be about postgraduate depression, and I think it's one of those huge things that happens so commonly but it's never talked about. Postgrad depression is something that not only affects a lot of nursing students but just a lot of students in general, and I think it happens for many reasons. For a lot of people, when they graduate, you get this degree and then like you can't find a job in your field and you end up working at some minimum wage job that you could have gotten even if you didn't have a bachelor's. And then you have all these student loans and nothing to show for it. You're applying, you're not getting any interviews, or you're not landing any of the interviews and getting the job. And then you just like, it's like this never-ending cycle, and you just end up becoming depressed. You doubt yourself all the time. You feel like all of your hard work was for nothing, and you just end up becoming more and more discouraged as time goes on. I've personally experienced this, and when I experienced this, I didn't know what was going on at first. I was just like, man, I'm always sad. There is no joy in my life, and then nothing brings that joy out of me like it used to. And I consider myself a very optimistic person. Anyone who knows me knows I'm really positive, really optimistic. I'm always thinking on the bright side. And for the first time in my life, I just felt so blah. Everything was blah. I felt like, and it wasn't because I couldn't get a job, because I did get a job, but it was just because I don't know what it is. I think it's because we're in this transition phase. All of our lives, we've been in school from 3, 4, 5 years old. You've been in some kind of pre-K all the way up until now, and then through college, and then now you're just like, well, this is life. And you feel like all you do is work and then pay bills and repeat, and you just feel like, what is my purpose? What am I doing? You can, even if you love your job, I love my job, and I just felt so blah, and it was so hard for me. I kid you not, everybody noticed. Even I remember my mom, one day she just came up to me and she put her hand on my shoulder and she was like, I love you, right? And I was like, oh God, so this is noticeable. So yeah, I think mine was probably due to the transition phase from student to full-blown nurse. And then not only that, but I work night shift, and it's really hard and taxing on my body. And I'm the type of person that what brings me joy is being productive and reaching goals, and I'm a big planner, and I like to be active. I love to work out. I love to do things. I love to see people and eat food and go out. And night shift really just took a lot out of me. I'm always tired during the day. I'm up all night, and then I'm sleep all day. And then I tell myself every day, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get up at 9 a.m. tomorrow, my day off, and I'm gonna do this, and this today. And then I wake up at 1 or 2, and then I'm so disappointed in myself, and I just feel like such a lazy bum, and I feel so blah. That's just the best way I can explain it. I just feel so disappointed in myself. And I'm not working out anymore. I'm not doing any of the things that really make me me. All the things that I love in life and that I pride myself on, I feel like I was no longer doing them anymore, and I feel like I kind of lost myself. Not only is being a new grad very hard, because you're just not used to that schedule, but it's very hard because if you're trying to learn so much, there's such a steep learning curve. So you put all of yourself and all of your effort into that, into your work, and into growing and learning. It's almost like when you become a new mom, you put all of yourself into your baby, raising your baby and learning how to be a mom and all that kind of stuff. It's the same concept, and you lose yourself in that process a lot of times. So I'm in this process of finding myself again, if that doesn't sound dramatic, but that's exactly what it is. And I honestly, I feel much better, and I see a huge improvement in myself, but I'm still not there 100% yet. But I can happily say that I'm out of this depression though. It was so weird for me. I couldn't put a finger on it. I've never been the type of person to say like, oh, I'm depressed. Like, and I remember I started talking to other people about it, and I was like, okay, they feel it too. I'm like, I'm not weird. Cause I couldn't put my finger on the feeling. I was like, I just don't feel right. I just feel like this. And it was something I had never felt before. And then somebody had told, like, one of my coworkers, they're a new grad too. And they're like, yeah, I'm so depressed. And I was like, at first I was like, you're depressed? Really? Like, And then I thought about it, I was like, me too. And then I talked to some of my classmates, and they were having this same problem. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is a thing. Many of you may be experiencing some depression related to this role transition, or you may be experiencing some depression because you have been applying to multiple new grad programs or positions and you're still not hired yet, and you're just becoming discouraged with yourself. Or maybe because you graduated with a degree and there's no market for your job, or maybe you're not making the amount of money that you thought you'd make. There's just so many things that go into it, and there's so much stress of being a new grad. And I'm gonna tell you what I did to help me get out of this. The first thing I did was try to think about things that made me me. What are things that made me happy before? What are things that I enjoyed doing? And then try to get back to that as soon as possible. If you used to work out 5 days a week and now you're not, start working back out. Make it a priority. Make a schedule and do not let yourself slack. Do it. Get your butt up and get to the gym, or you love doing pottery, get your butt up and do that pottery, or whatever your hobby may be. Not only does exercising, if that's your hobby, but it also like releases endorphins in your brain, and it just makes you happy, makes you feel good. So just moving in general makes you feel good. Also, eat healthier. When I started working night shift, I was eating so bad. I was snacking all night because I had to stay awake, and I don't know, maybe it was stress, who knows? I was just eating like I never had before. So try to start eating healthier. That also has a lot to do with your mood. The hormones in bad food can add extra hormones on top of the hormones that you already have and make you like a hormonal mess. And we don't want that. We want to be balanced. So exercise and eat healthy. Another thing is just to stop stressing. No, stop, let it go. If you're not getting a job, your job does not define you. You may have a degree in nursing, you have your BSN, but that is not the only thing that defines you. You are not only a nurse. You are a person outside of that. You have family, you have friends, you have hobbies, you have things that you like to do, and you have your personality. You have so much more than just your job. That's the number one thing. Your job does not define you. That's what you need to say in your brain. I haven't gotten a job yet. I don't like my job. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't define you. It's what you do. Okay? That's it. Do not give this situation power. You claim your life back and you claim yourself back. You are enough. You are good enough. If you haven't gotten a job, if you don't like your job, that doesn't mean that you're not worth it. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It doesn't mean that you're this or that. It's just, this is your journey. Accept your journey, okay? And don't be too proud to talk to people and to maybe, settle a little bit at first, just for your own happiness and to get your foot in the door. And then you will always level up. You will. Sometimes I notice the moment you accept your journey and your shortcomings or whatever, that's the moment where you get an opportunity. It's kind of like when people are trying to conceive a baby and they can't, and they're trying and they're having a hard time and they're getting discouraged. And then the moment they give up, like, oh, well, I guess we're not going to be parents, they have a baby, right? That's how the world works sometimes. Just accept it, and then a blessing may come. Because when you're stressing over it and you're just making yourself miserable in the end, and the only person you're hurting is yourself, it's not helping the situation, it's just bringing you down. And lastly, I want to say start journaling. I'm a huge advocate for journaling. I love to journal because I myself am a very emotionally reserved person. If I'm going through something or if I'm really sad or whatever, like I don't like to talk to it about people all the time because I feel like they're gonna think that I'm complaining, or they're gonna think that I'm weak or whatever. I'm gonna feel judged, so I'd rather just keep it to myself. So I allow myself to journal, and in my journal I allow myself to be as extra as I want to be, because like that helps me. It's like venting to someone, and I release it when I journal, and it's helped me like so much. That and meditating. I just have a little app on my phone, the Breathe app, and I do like a little 2-minute meditation right when I feel like I'm about to crack. And it just recenters me. Yeah, so that's my little bit of advice. That's what I did to help me overcome this struggle. If you're going through this, try to incorporate some of these into your life, just to try to get yourself back. And don't be afraid to acknowledge your feelings and what you're going through. You're not alone. You're not a weirdo. You're not weak. You're not less than because you feel this way. You are very normal, and what you're feeling is very common, okay? And remember, everything in life is about mindset. If you allow this depression to take over your mind and take over your life, then it will. You have to be strong enough in your mind and have the drive in your heart to want to change it, to want to get yourself back, and to want to feel better. So I hope this video helps some of you out here, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.